Alright guys, we're live from the Brojo. Talking about the news today.
China.
Yep, hey, how's it going, Gil? I'm Kian, not Keith, and I'm here today with...
Oh, I'm going first?
Yeah, you are.
John Dean is here again.
No, mystery. We were gonna leave, and we have...
For what?
I said we got the mystery guy back, John D.
Guy.
Yeah.
Mystery guy.
He hasn't been here, like, ever. People literally, I had to email the video, I'm like, so I see the lack of dicks have not been in here. I'm like, yeah, John's been magicking it up.
Well, yeah.
He's a part-time magician, if you guys didn't know.
Lol. I wish.
Professional magician, John Dean.
I wish magic was real.
Sweet ass job.
Yeah, right?
Could you put Planeswalker as a job now?
I don't think so.
I mean, you could. They just wouldn't give you the job. They'd think you were fucking insane.
Yeah. So you have like a planeswalker here. How do you walk planes?
Very next job interview, they look at the
you
Facebook.
hook one up on a leash and take it down the runway.
See that you've misspelled planes. Obviously, you meant you walk the planes.
Oh no, the planeswalker.
Great planes.
The planeswalker is spelled like planes,
No, I know it is.
like flake planes, but
Yeah, and you said your name?
No.
No, okay, who are you?
yeah, we just fucking distracted it all
Yeah,
out
sorry.
again.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, who are
Eli
you?
Brown. I'm also here again.
Oh, yeah.
Said my last name. Shit.
Yeah, no, it's...
Cut it out.
The truth has been taken out, and...
My name's Eli.
it's just a flip flip. And you
Eli
are...
White,
You're
Eli
a deep
Gray.
frog.
They'll never know.
Welcome to the podcast.
The more Gil talks like Kermit the Frog, the more he becomes Ray Romano throughout the... You remember that one time you tried to do it all Hank Hill, and then you just sounded like you were just
Oh
dying?
boy!
Yeah.
I sell propane and propane accessories.
So, guys, what have you guys been up to lately? I mean, we had Thanksgiving, so last week we didn't have anything because we were having too much fun playing Fibbage and stuff.
Oh, I wasn't here.
I don't want no. What did you,
Piece of shit.
have you watched anything anything cool lately or anything like
I
that?
don't know about cool.
Or
I
something
watched,
dumb that you want to complain about, like
what
you
was
usually
it?
do?
What was it called? I watched the entirety of Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign is what it's called.
That sounds fucking terrible.
It was
Sounds
weird.
dumb, yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was
Is
just
that
like...
an anime?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw a clip of it on Facebook, and I'm like, wow, that was actually some decent animation. So I decided to watch the show, and like the clip that I saw was in like episode 2 or something like that, and then the rest of it was like not that great. It wasn't like bad or anything.
Is it like a fantasy or is it like a modern?
It's like
fantasy?
It's like so like there's like vampires that have been like hiding underground or some shit like that.
Are they
Like
pretty?
Mongol people.
That's like my
Yeah.
first. Okay. fine.
They're really like homoerotic, fabulous dudes. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple female vampires,
But they're all just
pretty,
dudes, yeah.
They're pretty also like jiggle titty type females, or they're like lolly girls.
Are the males androgynous enough where you could possibly?
I mean, you could definitely tell when they're dudes,
Okay.
but I don't know. It was like it's technically not like a finished series. There's like rumors that like a season 3 is gonna come out next year or something like that, but it's been like a while since
4
season
years.
2. Yeah, something like 4 years since
So it's
season
kind of
2
like
came
what
out.
people are like with Drifters right now, because like at the end of Drifters, is like we'll be back 20XX. That means you just never know.
Well, yeah, but like this one never had anything like that. It just kind of like stopped, and
Uh-huh.
I guess maybe like they didn't have the following at the time.
And now that everyone was like, man, I love
Yeah.
homoerotic
Well, no, it wasn't even like
men
that.
vampires.
It was just kind of like I feel like it didn't. I don't really know because like I didn't watch it when it came out, so. But I watched it now, and like I can see why it maybe didn't get a following. The story's not really like the greatest, but it was entertaining enough for me to finish because it was only like 24 episodes.
That's good.
But like I kind of saw the ending to like the season 2 coming like almost immediately. It was like immediately when I saw what was going on, I'm like, there's gonna be some sort of Deus Ex God mode thing that the main character's gonna go through, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened at the end.
Is there any like good character development within the series, or is it just kind of generic? Like,
I don't know.
I'm sulky. Is it like he's sulky throughout the entire the main? Is
No,
my
it's nothing
family?
like that. Yeah, it's just like It's kind of like a revenge story,
Okay.
but it's kind of just meh.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really weird.
Is there any media?
It's not really something that I can like highly recommend or anything like that.
Is there any media that you have seen that you want to complain about? Because I know you always have like at least one thing where you're just like, I don't know, I just watched it. I just fucking did, and I
Finally
fucking
watched
hated it.
Black Panther.
Were you woke, yo?
Not a huge fan of that. I mean, it's not bad, but it was really kind of like I don't understand the hype behind it. I guess
How did it compare to Thor Ragnarok for you?
I like Thor Ragnarok a lot more.
I don't know, they have the same humor. I don't know what
Not really. There really
You're
isn't
right,
a whole
one's
lot
funny,
of humor
one's
at
Black
all
Panther.
in Black Panther.
There is, but there. I feel like the more obvious humor is the very dumbass. Like, what are those jokes?
I still-
Oh yeah, no, I like that part actually. That actually kind of made me chuckle a little
Fucking
bit,
worst
but it
person.
felt really dated. Because I mean, that movie came out like a year ago.
Yeah, I feel like you.
Give or take.
Like, I feel like that joke really dated the movie. The one, like, huge complaint that I have, and I don't understand how more people don't, like, point it out, is that fight scene between the two Black Panthers when they, like, jump into the train area. That looks worse than, like, a PS2 video game cutscene.
Oh no, I think
I
we
was
talked
like-
about like how they looked really, really
That
jokey.
was so bad.
Like, I think that was like the one thing that like I don't like. I think Black Panther has the same problem with most Marvel movies for their first outgoing. In every Marvel movie, maybe besides Thor and Captain America and Spider-Man: Homecoming, is that basically the main character fights a version of themselves.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's...
No, in
that's,
Captain America, he fought a version of himself.
Yeah, I mean,
Red
like...
Skull took the serum before
Yeah,
he did.
yeah, you know what I mean, though,
And
like-
you literally have the Winter Soldier, which is essentially like...
Metal arm
Captain
Captain
America.
America
Guns.
with guns.
They both have guns.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean though. Like I feel like that was Marvel's problem for the longest time is that they're like,
I mean, yeah, I don't really see it quite as much of as a problem because it's like it's a pretty generic comic book thing,
right,
and like it's pretty obvious that all these movies are like leading up to Infinity War,
Right.
which is so much better than everything else. I just think that last scene, like just CGI wise, just looks
Right.
so bad, which is hilarious because like the astral plane scene looks really, really awesome.
oh, it's beautiful. Like that.
I mean, like all of the Marvel, like coming into powers or whatever scenes have looked really good.
have you seen
like-
Sorry.
Like the scene from like Doctor Strange where he like goes through all of that fucking like magical universe world
Yeah.
shit. Like
Where like he's just the mirrors are breaking. He's
Yeah.
just like flying around. He's basically
like,
on an acid trip.
yeah, or like the Guardians
Shooting
of the-
stars meme.
or like the Guardians 2 scene where they're like hyper speeding through space.
Yeah.
Like all of those scenes have looked really, really fucking good. So I'm like, why does this one look so bad?
I feel like a lot of their action scenes though, because like I think that was a complaint in Infinity Wars that I had, is that like some of the like the fucking fight scene in Wakanda, all those like the minor like the stormtrooper-esque bad guys that they have to fight, they did look to me they
The
look really
aliens?
yeah.
I didn't think they looked
In the fight in Wakanda, you know what I mean though, the fight in Wakanda they looked, I don't know, I think they
look like animals.
right,
I
but I
thought
mean
the
like the
generic-
CGI
Well,
I thought the CGI was
generic.
like
They were
generic.
they were supposed to be
I
generic.
know, but I
They're
just
just
I don't know.
fucking cannon fodder. It's similar
Yeah.
to the first Avengers
The
where they're just
Chitauri.
fighting the other
Yeah.
fucking aliens. Like I don't know. I think that looks
I
pretty
don't
good.
remember what they look like.
They look like
Venom, but not.
Crab people.
yeah, they
Crap.
look like fucking weird dog monsters kind of things.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought that they looked pretty good.
I still think.
You never really like see one super up close.
Right. I still think Infinity War still had one of the best endings I've seen in any kind of like media that was. I don't know why. I still think like Infinity War's ending is just really top notch.
I don't think anyone disagrees with that. Really.
I think the reason why the ending was super good is because like throughout all these Marvel movies you see that the hero always prevails, and then at the very no.
I didn't think it was that great.
I mean, I wasn't like.
I wasn't like, oh my god, that's amazing, but I liked this change up to like,
No, because it's not even a change-up. It's like, oh man, we have to have something for them to do in the next movie. Therefore, he has to fucking win now.
Yeah, I can see. that.
Otherwise, we
Sure.
won't have a next movie.
They basically
think-
just cut the next movie.
It's not
in
like
half.
a surprise.
I think that making it like a part 2 from the very beginning kind of like gave away the idea that was going to happen.
oh,
And I
very
think-
much so, because like everyone, the people who died are like they have sequels coming out, so it's just like there's.
Well, it's not even like that. It's like they picked some of the most safe characters to kill off too.
Right.
They
Other
picked
than
all
like
the new characters.
yeah, other than maybe like Spider-Man and Black Panther. Like I feel like everybody else that died off in the movie was just like.
They killed the White Wolf.
The Winter Soldier. They
Yeah,
call
I
him
know,
that.
I know what that they call him, the White Wolf. I'm just like, yeah, exactly. Like they killed the Winter Soldier. Like, okay, so
oh,
what?
No.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like they.
I think
I don't know.
you and I, we all had this conversation. How come his gun didn't disappear, but his arm did? Like, that's always gonna be, like, a fucking thing that gets me about that whole scene.
Oh, you mean the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Wait, his arm didn't?
His arm disappeared with it, but he had a gun in one hand.
He dropped the gun.
Yeah, well, I feel like the arm was, like, is actually, like, attached to
Yeah,
him,
it's a
as
part
opposed
of
to,
him.
like,
Yeah.
the gun being, like, something he's just holding.
Then what about all their clothes and their suits?
That, I mean, like, this is
Didn't the
semantics.
suits go away too, though?
Yeah, but they're not essentially attached to them. They're
I
just
don't know.
wearing them. And then there's also Doctor Strange's cape.
Yeah, his cape just, like, you know, it's
Did his
semantics.
cape disappear or not disappear?
Yeah, his cape disappeared.
Well, yeah, I mean, the cape's probably just as much a part of Doctor Strange as, like, the Winter Soldier's
I mean,
arm,
technically, you could go the cape
It's
is
half-
sentient.
It's
and
half
not,
of
like,
all capes.
It's half of all
Oh, yeah,
capes,
there
not
you
just
go.
one, yeah.
Like, the cape is just another being that died, too.
Like,
I mean, nobody...
well, then we got
I guess
into the
they didn't
semantics.
die.
Of, like, does Rocket Raccoon count as its own, like, race, or does, like, half of the raccoons?
Raccoons.
I don't think it was, like, half of all
No,
races.
they
I think
went
it's just,
to-
like, half of life forms in
Yeah, they went
existence.
to clarify, though. They're, like, all, like, half of that, like, the galaxy.
So, like, half
Yeah.
of
That's
Rocket
such a
Raccoon
fucked up
dies.
way to do
No,
it.
like, half of, like, the raccoon race died, and, like, half of the trees died, apparently. I'm like, you fucked up even more.
Well, I'm assuming that maybe, like, the gauntlet itself is also, like, a sentient thing. And, like, it'd be really hard to argue against that because the
Right.
stones are, like, so powerful.
Yeah, they're...
Especially when they're together.
Their existence.
So-
They're just, like, the fabric of our existence. Their existence.
So, I mean, I'm assuming that, like, they can just do whatever.
I'd like to point out that by killing half of all people, he definitely killed more than half.
Yeah. I
You're
know.
like, oh man, that
plane.
that pilot got cut out, and it's like,
Oh, yeah,
all those
for sure.
people. are
Yeah,
dead.
no, because, like, they showed that at
We
the
talked
end.
about
There's, like,
that.
fucking helicopters flying off. I'm like, yeah, people are fucking dying.
Well, I mean, you got
There's
like
a
all the
planet
cars.
somewhere with like 20 people, 19 of them got taken out. There's just one guy there. He's like, this sucks.
Well, I mean, that's
Kill
essentially like how
myself.
Rocket is now. Like the entire Guardians of the Galaxy like faded away, except for Rocket. He's just
Not all of
by
them.
himself.
Thanos
Yeah,
already killed Gamora.
Well, I mean, yeah. So, like, what kind of ending in Infinity War 2 would satisfy you?
They all come back and they snap and just Thanos disappears.
I think I would be very.
I would be
against that.
very. sad
No, the
about
ending
that.
is just gonna be them beating Thanos.
Well, I mean, essentially, but like,
With
I-
steel
that's-
Probably,
that's
and then
pretty
probably revealing some fucking greater power.
Could the opening of Avengers Infinity War 2 be Thanos actually waking up from a fever dream? And, like, he still has Thor's axe inside of him, and he's fucking dying, and that's his, like, last thought?
Bleeding out.
No, he just like
Damn it.
He just like wakes up and he's only got like one of the stones still, and he's just like,
He's like, fuck! It's like, it was all a dream.
it was like a fucking Doctor Strange Inception fever dream.
No, they go into a mental hospital like Thanos.
If you poop in your dream, you poop for real.
You know, and Tony Stark is his doctor. He's like, Thanos, do you know who you are? He's like, you're Iron Man. He's like, no, I'm your psychiatrist. And it's like, blah.
So I was like actually kind of thinking about this the other day, where I was like, what kind of ending would actually like make me think this is kind of good? And then I was like, so obviously they're gonna bring those characters back.
Iron Man and Tony Stark, Iron Man and Captain America become gay, and they live happily ever after.
I don't-
That's
American
the-
yeah, that's kind of
10-minute
already
movie.
where we're at, I suppose.
They don't even beat Thanos.
They've
They
got-
just become gay. And they
They're
get
already
married.
pretty gay. They've got like secret cell phone conversations with each other and stuff.
Like that Pepper doesn't even know about. Like,
Well, I was like thinking about like
Yeah, I'd see him more going with Rhodey.
yeah.
They're
if they like
pretty tight.
defeat Thanos, and because obviously they're gonna retcon it in some way.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring all those guys back. They kind of have to.
Yeah.
So like maybe like a scenario where they take the glove from Thanos.
No, it just reminds me
And
of
then
the
the
Dragon
Red
Ball.
Skull gets it.
He can't really have it. He's just like a ethereal being at this point.
Yeah, he's become a specter, basically.
Probably got killed half of all wraiths. They can't be alive.
Yeah, he's probably. I suppose
The only red skulled face.
Well, I
human being.
suppose-
He's like right by the Dementors from Harry Potter, and the
Half
Dementors are leaving. He's like, "Bye, bitch."
I suppose
half
now
of
that
all super soldiers.
I suppose
Captain
now
America
that like
lived,
the
he
Mind
died.
Stone has been like
Damn it.
actually claimed, he's probably not even
Maybe
a
Soul Stone.
specter anymore.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, the Soul Stone.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Like that. That's what it was.
No,
what
I
it
feel
was.
like
I hope it ends up being like a fucking Dragon Ball episode.
Where they just
Thanos
fucking
just
switch it
fucking whips
away.
the stones into space, and they're like, "Damn it! Now we've got to find all the Dragon Balls to bring people back
I
to
mean
life."
stones. No, I was thinking like if they beat Thanos and take the glove, and then like Tony uses it to bring everybody back, but then it kills him because he's not as strong as Thanos. Like I'd be all right with that probably.
I still don't think they're gonna kill Iron Man. I feel
I feel
They
like
are.
they probably
I
could.
feel like they'll kill Tony Stark.
Pretty.
yeah, they'll kill
Yeah,
Tony. They'll
Iron
kill,
Man will come back
Yeah.
as a black chick, probably.
I'd be
No.
alright with that.
I don't think it'll be a black. I think that.
The comic community won't be.
Well, obviously, but like I'd be alright with that. I feel like
I don't care.
it'd be a really good time for Stark and Captain America to die at this point.
Well, isn't
But I
this
feel
one the
This is their
actor-
last. This is their last
Yeah.
contract. But like for me, I don't feel like they have to die. You can still retire a character
I suppose,
without
but, like,
having to. Like I feel like
I just feel like that'd be a good ending to the arc. that
right.
they
Yeah,
have.
I
but
feel like
if
Tony
they-
Stark retiring from Iron Man is a better arc, and then Captain America dying because of the fact that like Captain America is a man lost in time.
No, I feel like the opposite is actually better at this
Really?
point. It'd
Okay.
be much more of a better arc for Tony at
No.
this point.
To
Like
die?
he's spent so much of
Being selfish, like it's-
being a douche.
Yeah.
Like if you actually like go back and watch like
Oh, he's a
all
piece
the
of shit
Iron
in the
Man
first
movies.
two.
I think the first one he's not really the worst.
I don't think he's the worst, but he's still very arrogant. And
Well, yeah,
hubris.
definitely.
You know
But
what I mean?
like
The
his
second
world,
one really goes into his self-poisoning.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like his worldview is so much smaller in the
Yeah.
first one. In all honesty, and then you watch the second one, and it's just like he's just essentially like a big piece of shit to everybody. Like there's literally a part where they're like he invites the terrorists to attack his home.
That's 3.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Maybe.
because he has PTSD.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah,
the
that
Mandarin.
Yeah.
it kind of goes in the same route though.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
suppose. Like in the I guess yeah, it's the third, but like that character kind of like progresses into the third too. But in the third, there's that part where he's like literally invites the terrorists to his house, like gives them the address and everything, and then Pepper's all like, "I need to leave," and he's like, "No, don't leave. Like, this is where we should stay." It's like you literally just invited terrorists to blow up your house, and you want her to stay here.
Do you think that? I'm sorry. We might as well just make this.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I was trying to get to here. Was that?
Might as well just make this
I've
into-
watched Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Let's go on with the
I mean, yeah.
news.
If you guys want to keep go
Yeah.
on to something else.
So I mean, because I want to bring that up in the tangent. That'll be out this week as well.
Why don't we
About
just
like.
cut this? Well,
Yeah,
so
we
this
might
is
fuck it.
the-
Let's cut this into a tangent. This is not the news. Fuck all y'all.
I meant like cut
Alright.
this out
Oh,
and put it
yeah,
in the
we-
tangent.
yeah.
You piece
Well,
of
no, we
garbage.
don't even need to do that. We can just keep going.
This is a tangent.
What? Oh, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll just tangent it.
All right.
Because I had this legit question that I wanted you to ask about the DC universe. Because we literally talked about what would be a fitting fucking, a fitting fucking end for
Into
a
Infinity War.
into Infinity Wars. Do you think that DC not like a hard retcon, but like a soft reboot of their characters? Do you think that they could not save the DCEU, but you know what I mean, like after because apparently they're not. Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are out.
I've heard that too, and
So-
that kind of makes me sad because like, I don't know what's sad, but disappointed I suppose
Yeah.
because like I think
'Cause they
Ben
put these guys
Affleck.
out.
I think Ben Affleck makes a really great Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that the script is terrible
Script.
and the writing is really bad. And it's the same thing with Cavill as Superman. Like, I really like Man of Steel. Like, I think that's a really good movie. And I just think like the writing that has progressed into like
What are your thoughts on the first 2 Thor movies?
bad.
Why?
They are fucking boring.
But he
Well-
says that he likes Man of Steel.
It's
There's
not
a
that I
difference though. Like
No, there's not.
It's not
No.
that I think they're necessarily boring. It's just that like all of that like Thor chilling out with humans stuff just feels so worthless.
That was mostly in the first one.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I mean, there's a lot of like in the second one too, where he like meets up with those people again, and then like they use those people to try and like introduce like comedic shit too, and like it never really lands. Like for some reason they joke about shoes. Like I think it's like 6 or 7 times in that movie.
Right.
Like, can I have my shoe back? I'm gonna need your shoe. Can I have my shoe back? Like, and then there's the scene where the professor's just like holding Stan Lee's shoe, talking about some dumb shit. I'm like, why do we need this?
I need to be real about the reason why I don't. There's always been like I've talked about Jay about why I don't like Thor 2, and one of my major nitpicks is that like I get casting an African American actor, but if all your other actors are wearing the fucking pale ass white makeup that they have to sit in the makeup room for like 16 hours, and then your other actor who's just African American, who's also the same race as you, who is a dark elf, is just black skinned, I'm still like, it's the same thing with the fucking Kree from Guardians of the Galaxy. All those characters like, I'm Kree just like you, but like everyone else is like blue, and he's like just straight up African American. I'm like, I don't get this. Why would you do that? Because like Gamora.
Well, I mean, like you can't really just explain it with like Earth logic because
I get that, but
you can't be different shades for Kian.
Motherfucker, you fucking know what I mean. Thor 2, you know what I mean though. They're already called the Dark Elves.
Well,
and there's only one dark brother in that fucking brood.
I think it's just a case of like extremely uninteresting side characters because like all of Thor's friends in the first 2 movies
are boring.
In Asgard too. They have no like point of actually being there.
That's why Thor died.
They kind of use the Warriors 3 in the first one.
Well, yeah, a little bit when they like fight the
and the second one they're more like
giants or the frost dudes or whatever.
No, when they fight the fucking metal thing.
Destroyer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. I don't know. It's just like.
And then they fight a little bit in the second one, and the third one they just die.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
I actually didn't mind the third one.
It's just a really uninteresting story, in like to be honest too. Like I think the best part of the first movie is like the introduction of Hawkeye, and it doesn't even really make any sense.
Yeah,
because he just like loads an arrow and then doesn't shoot it.
Because Coulson's like, "Don't do it." He's like, "All right, I won't do it."
Well, yeah, but it's just kind of like, why even put him there then?
Because they needed a reason.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're just forcing a reason, like,
right?
And that doesn't make for good storytelling or anything like that.
I didn't see that's the thing. I didn't see a problem with that because those are the movies that were building said universe.
It's not necessarily a problem. It's just something that could easily be improved upon to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, it's just like all of those supporting characters are just so weak that it makes for a really boring movie. Like,
right.
And there are parts in the first 2 Thors, mainly kind of the first one, where I think it's decent-ish writing. Like the part where they're in the coffee shop and he drinks the coffee and he's like,
Another,
or I like this drink, another one,
like
and then slams the coffee cup on
the
ground.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense
for
him. But like at the same time, it's like they don't like use that to much advantage. It's just like a one-time quip, and then it's just kind of like they go into like really bad character arcs for these support characters that never matter ever again.
If my one like of Thor 1 and Thor 2 though is that all the Thor series in general, to me, Thor 1, 2, and 3 are such a love letter to Jack Kirby's artwork from the 1960s.
Yeah, I suppose.
I really, really like them for just their visuals, just because of the fact, like...
But that's kind of the whole reason I like Thor Ragnarok so much, is because it just kind of takes Thor and, like, completely shoves it out of its element.
Right.
And it's like, you have these first 2 movies that are so based generically Thor that they're, to a point, yeah, I would say that they're kind of boring. But then you have Ragnarok, where it's like, not only do they destroy the hammer, which is, like, Thor's main weapon, but, like... They literally shoot him into space to fight Hulk and a bunch of aliens.
Well, I mean, that was
they just
the
go
thing.
crazy with
See,
it.
and I feel like that's... I don't know.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
The supporting characters in Ragnarok, I don't think they're any better.
I don't think they're much better, but I mean, like, it focuses less on supporting characters.
Especially not after Infinity War, where they're all dead in the beginning.
Well, yeah.
Midnight.
Yeah, so when I first saw Thor Ragnarok,
they don't even get to be in the Wakanda fight at the end.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's something that I think I've talked about before too, where it's like you have the ending of Thor Ragnarok where it sets this whole thing up. And then the beginning of Infinity War just kind of, like, wipes their ass with that. So, like, I totally agree with that, where, like, the beginning of Infinity War essentially just kind of, like, ruins the
Thor
ending
3,
to Ragnarok.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense it does, but at the same time there's like this like hyperbolic allegory to like they never like, you know, Ragnarok was supposed to happen because Surtur comes and destroys it, and like they had their own literal Ragnarok of their people where half of their people were destroyed. Like
not even half.
But
well,
you know what
that's
I mean,
the thing
though?
is like Ragnarok is literally supposed to be like the end of Asgard,
Right.
But like there's the line in Ragnarok where Odin says that Asgard is wherever the Asgardian people call home.
Right, and that's
And
why
then-
I think
So that's kind of like the point is that like
yeah.
these people still exist, they're still alive, Asgard is still alive.
So when
and then
Thanos
they
comes
all
in,
just
Not anymore.
die like
you get-
5 minutes
yeah,
later.
exactly, and I think
What that
what
really means is when he snaps his fingers, any of them that just happen to be out of town
Like,
for the day, it's
still
like half
alive,
of them
they're
are fucking
Like, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
too.
But you know, that does make sense, and that's why I like that. I like the thought of that, like, they escaped their quote-unquote Ragnarok, but they didn't, because the fate of the myth of Ragnarok still happened to them, even if it wasn't Surtur destroying the fucking visual place. Their lives were just fucked up. I know you're thinking, like, wow, this is some deep, contrite bullshit that, like, someone
Oh,
just
it is
thought of.
bullshit.
I don't think
no,
it's I don't
just
think
like
it's necessarily
the
deep or contrite
myth of
or
Ragnarok.
bullshit. I think it's just kind of like I think that's just kind of like looking into it really hard.
Right.
Exactly.
But
So,
that's
like,
just
If you
a theory.
If you squint hard enough, you can see anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like today at work, me and a coworker got into this conversation that the first Mario game is just an allegory to escapism, where Mario is actually just a shitty plumber.
I don't
And
think
like,
that's necessarily true either.
I know. We were just digging deep into it. It's like it's an allegory of escapism, where this isn't a real world. It's Mario just escaping his life of working a mundane.
I mean, I suppose that's something
However,
that could maybe be turned. It could be turned
turned into
but-
you know
It
what I mean.
definitely was. It did not start.
Yeah, it
that
did
way.
not start that way.
But things that did start shitty, and I think are still shitty, is Harry Potter.
Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, no,
Fucking
go
right.
like,
This is turning into the tangent
Yeah,
that I'm
no,
talking
okay.
about.
Tell us why you. Yeah, that's right. Eli saw not Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts 2: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
It kind of doesn't surprise me. Well, obviously, it doesn't surprise me that you don't like it, but it kind of doesn't really surprise me that people would be disappointed in this. Weren't they just like massively disappointed with the other Fantastic Beasts
No,
movie?
people
also?
People
really
love
like
that.
that.
Did they
People,
really?
Like
Yeah.
people, everyone was pro Hufflepuff.
I really thought people didn't like that, or not necessarily
God,
didn't
there's
like
supposed
it.
to be
but
like 5 more movies or
we're
4
very
more.
more.
we're very disappointed as
No,
opposed
No, it's
to the hype
five.
of it.
That's 5 movie
Oh,
arc.
5 total.
Five
okay.
total arc. But no, I actually that's the thing. I guess I've heard a lot of people like really love the first one just because of the fact they like Newt Scamander. Like
I don't
they,
even know who that is.
It's the main character.
Sounds really.
He has
I don't like him. I don't.
the man has wizard autism.
He's the
John.
commander of
Oh,
news.
is that why people like him?
No, they like that's the base fact. Like everyone's like, man, J.K. Rowling did it.
So
She-
what's his name?
Newt Scamander.
He's the commander of nudes.
No, Scamander.
He's
Scamander.
Newt-
He's
Someone-
the Scamander of nudes.
Yeah,
Newt,
someone-
He's the
someone was-
salamander of newts.
Yeah,
'cause-
somebody was like, man, our last name is Scamander. That's already weird. How can I fuck him up more?
You
Like
didn't
his
know
first
his
name
brother.
is
His
Newt.
brother's name is Mud
Should be
Puppy.
named
Mud
Newt.
puppy.
Mud Puppy Scamander.
They had a theme going on.
Yes,
That
that's
is
it.
weird.
They call me Gick. Scamander.
It's tail time. No, it's like for me though. Like I have not seen it. I rewatched Fantastic Beasts because Jay and I were talking about we just rented it. I still don't like it because of the fact there was no Fantastic Beasts and we did not know where to find them.
There's the big fucking bird, and they're all in his suitcase.
Yeah,
The last one.
that was like the one thing. It was just like
Yeah, you know exactly where to find
when-
him.
Exactly.
that was my thing. The fucking when
Find
they
him on the
first.
street, kick his
Like,
ass, and
Take his suitcase.
As weird as it sounds, when they first they're like, it's going to be Newt Scamander's adventure, looking around all these monsters, and no, it's a fucking Palladio drama where Dumbledore and his boyfriend have a quarrel, and now they're starting a civil war.
I mean,
You should've known
that's
that it
the
was gonna
second
be.
one. The first one is. So was
Still
the
politically correct.
Flash in the first one?
Yes, he
Okay, I thought
played
so.
the fucking
Yeah,
You're
the
talking
guy
about
they
that
need to
actor
figure
of
out
the
who the
Flash,
fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah, I don't-
yeah. Ezra
His
Miller.
character goes by actually like 3 or 4 different names over the course of the movie.
Yeah, it's-
and 2 of them started with C's. It's like Credence and Corvus. And I was like, what the fuck is his name? It's like Corvus? Credence? I don't know anymore. I don't know who the
Yeah.
fuck this is.
Cousin Cledence.
Cletus?
Is this
Well, he
Creed?
looks like a fucking redneck. He's got like the bowl cut and fucking like, I don't know. Why did you hate it though? Like,
I don't think I've ever met a redneck with a bowl cut, but alright.
you ever met a redneck with a bowl cut?
Yeah. It's mostly like mullets and shit like that.
I've never met anyone with a mullet.
Really?
Maybe one person who got
Oh,
one as a
dude, I've met a
That's
couple.
kind of
people.
Regardless.
I met a bunch of dudes
This
with
movie.
mullets. Pretty sure I know a dude with a mullet right now,
Okay.
actually.
I know a dude with a mullet right now.
So I know
It's
that I'm
not
gonna
a joke.
that everyone's gonna like bitch about it. I have not seen the first Fantastic Beasts, but a lot of it was explained to me,
Okay.
you really didn't need to see it. There's like some returning characters, and it's like, they were in the first movie. Who gives a shit?
I feel like this probably just isn't a very good movie for us to talk about in the first place, because I don't think any of us are really Harry Potter fans.
I was never really.
I've never read a single book.
I read
I
the
tried
books
to read the books.
because like everyone hyped
My
it
name's
up.
Jared, I'm
Exactly,
19, and
I
I
tried to
never
read the
fucking
books.
learned how to read.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like, here's my thing. I was so oversaturated because like when I was in third grade, like I read the Lord of the Rings and shit like that. So like I was hyped up by like they're like it's a cool fantasy novel. I'm like, all right, let's fucking do it. I read it. I'm like, wow, this is some fucking bullshit.
I mean, I read Lord of the Rings too when I was young, but like I never had that interest for Harry Potter because it was like I could just read the premise and understand that I didn't really like it.
I don't, but like I feel like I don't know. There was something people just wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. I guess they're like,
Became annoying.
So you were peer pressured.
I was peer pressured to read Harry Potter, and like I read it, and I'm like, man, this. They're like, how do you like it? I'm like, oh man, these books are boring.
Your will is weak.
I will say, because I've started watching the original movies, because I haven't seen them in a long time, or seen some of them at all. And this movie was not nearly as boring as those movies.
A lot of those movies are dialogue, and it's
A lot of those movies are 3 fucking hours long. It's
Yeah.
like Lord of the Rings, but worse in every way.
You didn't like the
I
extended
was really
cuts?
pissing my roommates off when I compared everything to Lord of the Rings. It's not-
These goblins don't look like the goblins in Lord of the Rings.
These trolls don't even turn to stone.
That was one. It was like, there's a troll escaped from the dungeons. Like, they've got a cave troll.
There's like, this isn't an elf. He doesn't shoot arrows. Elves aren't supposed to be second class.
That was weird and dumb too. Anyway, no, fucking Fantastic Beasts 2. Jesus Christ. The movie is really slow. And I'd say that it's boring, because it kind of is at times. There's just like, it's kind of like Venom, where it's just like, there's a long time where no action happens.
Man, did we talk about that movie at all?
Yes.
Venom?
Shut
The
fuck
fucking
up.
the goo fighting the other goo.
Yeah, we did. I have
You
to
talked
look
about
at-
that, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Well, yeah, because I hate that scene. It's
I
like,
know,
oh
everyone
man,
hates
it's so hard to tell, like, which
is who?
gray goo is
Yeah.
fighting the other gray goo.
Okay.
John, I hate that fucking
so
movie.
The black background.
You
So,
say
yeah.
that, but you gave it a pretty decent.
I gave it a 6.
6 isn't that bad.
I
That's
thought it was
above
6.5.
average.
No,
Okay.
fucking Ryan gave it a 6.5. I gave it a
So-
6.
I know that the whole thing is supposed to be that they're wizards and whatever,
Yeah.
but they excessively use
Ooh,
magic
Venom?
in. Yeah. Venom's a wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a wizard.
We
Venom.
are wizard.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus. Oh,
Just like floats some dude's head and eats it.
Anyway, no, they
That would make
excessively
it such
use
a much
magic
better
though.
movie.
Like compared to the other movies where it's like, once in a while. These ones, it's like, fucking, you think you're gonna get up and walk to the fridge now. You're gonna teleport your ass over there.
I'm also
Unless you're
pretty
Newt Scamander, then you don't use magic. You just fucking happen to be able to communicate with every creature ever.
I don't know. That kind of like makes me. That sounds.
And that's why it's not boring.
Yeah.
At least they're doing shit.
Yeah, like
I
that
think-
sounds.
But it's also in the 1940s that no one has like fucking camcorders to scream World Star while you're
I think it's
fucking
in the
doing
30s.
magic.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, the Harry Potter movies take place during like the.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not exactly like
the-
modern day.
I think it's in the 30s because at one point Grindelwald's showing
the
them
Fantastic Beasts or the
Yeah,
original
Harry
series?
Potter
Because
actually.
Grindelwald's showing them like a vision of World War II and what's
Okay,
going
I
to
was gonna
happen
say,
if
like, I was pretty
wizards
sure-
don't take over, and then one guy's like, not another war!
I I was pretty sure it was like during like the 80s or something.
Harry
like
Potter's
that, isn't
is 90s to early 2000s.
Is it?
Because then 2018 is technically when Harry's kid. 2017 is when Harry's kids go to Hogwarts.
Yeah, because I had to look up how fucking old Dumbledore is. Because
Yeah.
I was like, if that movie's in the 30s and he's like 30 to 40 in that, and I was like, if the other one's in the 90s, that man's over 100.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be like super old.
He died at 116.
Yeah.
My favorite
You know.
meme that came out of this is like, how did Dumbledore go from wearing classy 3-piece suits to fucking looking like a grandma?
I saw that too. He's like wearing like tapestry and shit like
And
that.
everyone's like, this is pre-tenure, this is after tenure. I was like, yeah!
Badass.
Yeah, so, is Dumbledore, like, interesting in this, or is he just, like... or is he just,
no,
like...
the entire movie, kind of like with the regular Harry Potter movies, is just like,
He's just
Dumbledore is
there.
so fucking powerful, he'd rape your face right off, and then he never does
He
anything.
well, because he's like,
They're always-
Grindelwald, we need to fight. It's like, no, we made a gay
No.
blood pact.
Yeah, no, everyone is like, yeah, you should really go fuck him up. You're the only guy that's that powerful. And he's like, I can't. And they're like, but why though? And he's like, I just can't. Like, he doesn't tell anyone.
And then,
Turns
wow.
out he's just
Except
lying
for
about how
fucking
powerful he
Newt
is.
Scamander, pretty much.
So
he's-
he... What,
he's-
And then it
literally
shows
just-
a little scene where they put their blood into an amulet and it like fucking circles and mixes and it's like, oh god, AIDS blood.
that's how they got AIDS.
AIDS blood. It's probably why Grindelwald's pissed.
Turns
Got
out,
AIDS from Dumbledore.
turns
And
out
that's why he wants to turn on the
Dumbledore isn't
humans.
actually that powerful at all. He's just been lying the entire time. So
People
they like
just-
come to him for help, and
Have
he's
you
like,
seen the like regular Harry Potter movies?
yeah, all of them.
'Cause,
So like Dumbledore's
Guy
just
that
like
does
telling everybody that he's all powerful, so they don't fuck
It
with
was
him.
always... No,
But
no,
then they
no.
like come to him for help, and he's like, I'm just like my wand is at the cleaners right now.
Well, it was
Just,
like... It was actually always Grindelwald fucking people up, but then they got mixed up. Like, yo, Dumbledore, fuck this dude up. And it's like, nah, that was Grindelwald. I'm sorry, guys. I was
I'm
there.
pretty sure that was Dumbledore. Like,
And Grindelwald's like, what the fuck?
That's it. I'm starting my own faction. Anyway,
Why does Grindelwald want to take over again? Is he just...
I don't know. It starts off with him escaping. What did he do beforehand? I don't know.
Okay,
I
so-
think it was in the first movie.
In the
a
first
little bit.
movie, he started... Because he's
He
like...
tried to weaponize a child.
He's pre-Voldemort in the first movie. Like, he's the, like, Voldemort before Voldemort.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Throughout the movie, they're like more or less trying to do sort of a Thanos thing where it's like, yeah, he's bad, but you could technically see the logic in what he's doing, except then he like kills a kid and stuff, like a baby.
Wait, what?
Kills like a toddler. It's not shown, but he has some other bitch do it. But yeah.
I mean,
Oh, what the
I could
fuck?
get
That's
behind that.
hardcore. That's...
I
He's
mean,
got my vote
I
now.
think it's right after he's like, we're not fucking savages or something, or like, we're not without mercy, and then they kill those people and kill the child in the next room.
we aren't savages. We show mercy.
Avada Kedavra!
He just blows a toddler.
Holy shit!
Like
Scared me.
It's like it's
Did
like
you just kill that child? No, he attacked me first.
It
You
is-
saw it.
He grabbed my pants.
it's literally the same scene from Boondock Saints, except for instead of a cat, it's a toddler.
Self-defense.
He's-
that-
he accidentally blows it up with his wand.
He's like, the guy comes in, he's like, give me your wand. Why? We gotta fucking put evidence on it. It was him. Put it in his hand.
Nah,
See?
I like-
He
I like-
attacked me.
I like the Boondock Saints retcon.
But his whole thing is that
accidentally blows a kid up with a shotgun.
he is pre-Voldemort. He's pure blood wizards over half-bloods and no-bloods or whatever.
Mudbloods.
Yeah, sure. I don't.
Yeah.
That's a dumb term. I'm not
Just-
saying that.
Mudbloods.
But yeah, and so that's his whole reason for doing that. Never explains why he thinks that really.
You think like when wizard
All
rappers
their
rap, do
Fucking
they think,
decided.
do you think
That
all their
essentially
terms are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
that kind of
No
just
badge.
like that kind of like kills the idea of trying to turn him into a Thanos type character. Then, like the fact that like they don't explain why he actually hates people who aren't purebloods.
Exactly.
That just kind of makes him like evil for evil's sake.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a
That's
douche,
my point.
but
Like
I
he's
feel
literally
like,
just racist at that
But
point.
then,
He's
yeah, but
Hitler.
then later in the movie they're doing a whole like basically freedom of speech. Like they're having a little like get together, and a bunch of the ministry people come in, and one of them's like, "Remember, don't hurt them, because then we're the fucking bad guys, because we're killing civilians who are just gathered."
Yeah.
And then they kill one, and then he uses that to to like be like, well, look at the Ministry, they fucking killed a civilian.
Look at these people. Look at the man I asked to threaten the fucking Ministry.
I don't know. That's kind of an interesting argument. Like, the idea. I'm assuming like they're saying like freedom of speech wise, like you can't stop people from hating the non-wizards or stuff like that. Like that kind of.
I don't know.
That's actually a lot better than Muggles, John. Thank you for using non-wizards as the term.
Well, I mean,
No
it doesn't
man
really
is-
matter because it's not a real
term.
hatred
Yeah.
or whatever because they're not real. But I mean, like if you compare it to
I
like,
don't know if you met a Wiccan.
I mean, if you compare it to like the idea of like modern society,
Yeah.
so like the idea that like there's all these like white supremacist dudes who hate like black people and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you can't necessarily shut those people up completely. Otherwise, you're, like, shutting down actual amendments and shit like that.
Right.
So that's kind of an interesting take on it. I don't know if it's interesting enough to make me watch the movie.
This is another thing where
Are
you're
you
squinting at
telling
it
me-
so hard to see. I feel like she wasn't going for that.
Well, yeah, probably not, in all honesty. It just
You didn't
kind of...
know that it's alt-right propaganda?
No, it's not that it's alt-right propaganda. What I would be describing would be, like, the opposite.
You know what? I was just
This
being a douche.
Moves
Yeah, I
on to
suppose.
my next point, though, is that the Ministry of Magic is the worst government I've ever seen in anything ever.
Ah, so they're socialists.
No,
Let's
no,
get
they're,
political here, you
they're
cunt.
they're like fucking autocracy, basically. They're
Oh,
just
really?
like, yeah, one guy's
no.
just like, I'm in charge of everything, and then he's like, but Dumbledore, I really need you to kill Grindelwald. It's like, how the fuck are you in charge if you're not even the most powerful guy? You're like
Oh,
fucking
man.
70 years old.
He's like, listen, I can shoot fire from my hands and make an ice dragon all at once.
So he's the worst kind of dick potato.
Pretty much. Like, he wants to be in charge, he just fucking can't be.
He's
And
like, they're like,
His
we
whole
drew-
thing is he's always just like, use direct force, fucking kill their ass. I don't even care. It's
It's
like,
probably like real life. He just has the most money.
well, no, but he's like, just fucking kill him, piss him off, and it's like, but then you'd piss off Grindelwald, and he's more powerful than anybody except Dumbledore. He'd probably just kill everybody. Whatever, do it anyway.
Yeah, that's my thing about that. Like, I just don't understand. I don't know. Like, I think this is my same problem with. I'm gonna tangent onto. I saw She-Ra, and I think that's my same problem with She-Ra. I guess is that like it's very there. I think the message is great for what it is, but I feel like the message is so like, hey guys, I'm gonna hit you over the head. They're princesses with power and things. I'm like, I think that's awesome to have like, you know, strong female leads and shit like that. But at the same time, the things that they give them is just not as interesting. Where like, you don't understand why, like, She-Ra comes from this bad place, but they don't ever really explain why the place is bad. They're just like, oh, they're just fucking up her town. That's why they're evil. I'm like, but, like, maybe you're fucking up
Bad
there.
place.
Well, I mean,
Specifically,
the show's-
it's my stepdad's house.
Well, the show is created for like 10-year-old girls.
I know.
And shit.
I get that.
So I don't really think there's meant to be like anything bigger than that about it. So it's not really doing anything more than like what He-Man did for little boys.
Yeah, but He-Man was
we-
super gay.
Yeah, it was
apparently.
like He-Man made
it was
little
like
boys
very
gay.
homoerotic.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it in that way, it wasn't really at the time. If you think about it, like
I
how
don't
For a
know.
lot
I
of
think it
guys
was
in my
more
class.
at the
Yeah, I
time.
don't know.
We look at it now and we think it's funny.
Yeah.
well, okay,
I mean,
so
we had Arnold Schwarzenegger and all
Yeah,
in the
you-
similar getup.
But you know what I mean, though. Like,
Arnold
as
Schwarzenegger, He-Man.
that's what I mean. though.
okay,
It's like,
so look at the era that came
He-Man.
out though, and like,
Right.
and then look at all of the like major action movies that were like literally like right before that.
yeah,
you
super
have
making
exactly-
gay action movies. I know. I'm
They're
kidding.
not. They weren't though. They're not.
I know
pictured
they're
as
not
that way.
pictured to be mega gay. I was
Yeah,
just
and
being
He-Man
contentious.
wasn't either. So it was like all of that stuff that was coming, all of those action movies that were coming out at that time were like just these mega fucking buff dudes doing mega fucking
Prince
buff
Adam,
dude
though,
shit.
he's pretty gay.
That's another biggest complaint. That's why I like the
I suppose it
2003
I suppo-
He-Man.
yeah, it depends on which He-Man you're looking at. But,
Because like the 2003 He-Man is actually interesting because they actually give like fucking story.
but it's literally just like that cartoon is literally just based around the idea.
It's a
that
power
these-
fantasy.
Yeah, that these action stars were huge at that time too. I mean, you got movies like fucking Predator and
Die Hard.
yeah, like Die Hard and shit,
Die
where
Hard
they're
was
just
in
full
the
of like
90s, though.
big.
Die Hard was in the
Die Hard
80s.
in the
Yeah.
late 80s. But that's the thing. Like, He-Man came out in like.
It's still like
Die Hard came out in like 84.
I don't think
well,
so.
even so, it's still an example of a man's man
I thought it was
movie.
mid 80s.
I don't think Die Hard is a man's movie though. He wasn't like he was an everyman in the first Die Hard. The later
I don't know
Die
about
Hard,
He was
every
an every man who could bench twice as much as every other man.
Yeah.
He didn't though. The man literally had glass
and
in
could
his
kill
movie.
10 times the amount of people of
1988.
any other man.
All right, it was 1988.
88.
Yep,
Okay.
that's why I was like. I
Wrong
feel like it was
multiple
like,
of 4. You
Yeah.
got me.
no, you're a problem. You're
Anyway,
right.
circling back, because fuck you
Are we
guys.
still gonna talk about Harry Potter?
You're fucking right I am. So, I've talked about how all of
Turns out he's not a huge
Grindelwald
fan.
and all of them are so powerful.
Did you?
But everyone else is super powerful too. They make the people in the first fucking Harry Potter movies look like they don't know shit.
Why?
Like, I
Kids.
don't know what happened. No, not even just the kids, the fucking teachers. Voldemort, Dumbledore in the fucking original Harry Potters. They all look like fucking amateur magicians.
I suppose it's true. Like the only
Like, where did all this knowledge go?
the only spell that Voldemort really uses is like a kill spell,
The Avada
And then-
Kedavra,
and then
And then a
he-
fucking super laser.
well, yeah, he
which
grows.
is the Avada Kedavra in
Oh,
like a laser
super
form.
laser.
I suppose he grows like fucking what's his face's hand back in that one movie.
Peter Pettigrew's, but that's technically a simple transmutation spell because it wasn't a legit hand. It was
Well,
just
yeah,
metal.
that's what I mean. Like he never really does anything that
Yeah,
spectacular.
he just like transmuted some fucking metal. And
He
he's
literally
like,
just-
here's a
Right.
hand.
he literally just has like a magic Glock.
So are you telling me
That's pretty
Fantastic
much-
Beasts is the
Meanwhile,
Naruto
just power.
Shippuden of Harry Potter?
I don't know what that means.
Where like everyone's
Let's not compare
overpowered?
anything to trash.
Yes.
Even if it's all.
It's already
also
trash. Anyway. No, but towards the end, like, Grindelwald's just like, I'm gonna release these big flying flamey dragons that he conjured up as regular flames and they became dragons, by the way.
What?
Yeah,
They were
they were blue flames in a circle that he was like sending out and they fucking reap your soul. I don't know what the hell happens. And then they become dragons and they're gonna blow up Paris.
I mean, isn't there a
Fucking everyone, including Nicholas Flamel, who you asked me about earlier, is just like, I'm gonna stab my wand into the ground and it'll fucking contain these dragons with regular fire. That's the thing that happens. I don't know why.
Wait, what? Hold on, wait, what? Hold on.
It's-
Do they
that's-
shoot blue fire?
That's pretty legit. They're just fighting fire with fire.
It's fucking dumb.
No, did they shoot? Did the
Have you
dragons
ever
shoot
seen a
blue
fire
fire?
department?
The
or-
dragons are made of blue fire.
But do they shoot blue fire? Or are they just? Or is
Why
there
would-
Probably both.
Okay, I didn't fucking know. I'm
It's
trying to.
weird as shit.
trying
I mean,
to
isn't
understand.
there a scene that's similar to that in the first one where Dumbledore literally makes fireworks turn into a dragon?
No, that
You're
is
talking about
fucking the
Lord of the
Hobbit.
Rings?
That's
No, I
literally-
know that happens in there, but I could have swore there was a scene like that in Harry Potter.
Just because
Not-
Gandalf and
not in the-
Dumbledore are both
not
gay
in the
doesn't mean
first
they're
two
the same
movies.
Like
person.
about that.
Phoenix, maybe in the second
Maybe a
one.
few.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
It's
thinking.
actually I think it's in the fifth one because he gives fucking Harry a magic.
I mean,
sword.
it's been a long time since I've seen the Harry Potter movies, but I could have swore there
Gives
was
him the sword in the second one.
some
doesn't
sort
yeah,
of
but
like
he gets
fire
the
dragon or
sword
something.
again
he? Oh, okay.
from like the Sorting Hat, and because it's fucking.
I thought he didn't
Regardless.
get it back until like the last ones,
I don't
It's
care.
hinted.
and that's
I
the
will
fucking-
come back to you
And
when I have
Neville
watched those movies.
gets
That's
his
the,
sword.
That
the
tell you
ginger
all
cup.
Order of the
I'll know all
No,
of the
Neville
Harry
gets
Potter
not the ginger
lore.
cup.
Oh yeah,
Neville
that's
gets- yeah.
Neville gets the sword.
Neville
No,
gets the
Ron
sword.
takes it first.
Does he really?
Yeah, he
I
gets it
don't
out of
fucking
that
know.
lake.
God, no one gives a
He
shit.
gets it out of that.
Is he
lake.
King Arthur now?
No, it's in the lake, not in the stone.
It was in the lake.
It was
King
this.
Arthur, you fuck. The
Yeah,
sword in
it's
the stone's a different sword.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they always get that shit
Rat
messed up. That's the
bastard.
thing that gets me.
Anyhow.
That's my problem with King, and that's my problem with the new retelling of King. I saw
That
the
King
Robin
Arthur
Hood live
movie?
action.
I haven't
Don't
seen
you
that one yet.
derail this, you fuck. We're still on
We still don't
Grindelwald.
fucking talk about Harry.
I need to talk about the Robin Hood
I
live
want to
action.
know
film.
where all of their knowledge went, goddammit. They don't teach people shit. No one is powerful. Fucking anybody in that movie could have beat the fuck out of Voldemort.
Yeah, because everyone's like using like instant transmission with their fucking wands and shit.
Well,
like,
that's
no
the
one-
They don't even use wands half the time.
What?
They're just like, fuck it, I can teleport. Just do it.
Yeah, basically.
Voldemort showed up one day with his magic block and killed everybody.
Pretty much. He's like, remember this knowledge we had 80 years ago?
Ha, ha,
I
ha.
have some of it, and that makes me the most powerful man.
Jesus.
That's just like, oh my god, alright. You can
Were
go
there
on.
any mentions of Horcruxes?
Not
That's good.
Maybe the fucking
Did they mention
AIDS
Voldemort
blood
anyway?
mix is a Horcrux.
Did they mention Voldemort anywhere? No.
No, why would they mention it? It would
I
be
don't know,
called
but-
Tom Riddle, you
He
fuck.
hasn't even been born yet. Would he have not been born yet
I
at
don't
this
think he
point?
would've been born yet.
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't.
would
But
be
they,
called
but his
Tom Riddle.
fucking snake is there.
Oh, yeah, the
Well,
Asian
the
snake.
snake's probably not.
Nagini.
The
Yeah.
snake's probably not. There is
It's an
magic to
Asian
begin
la-
with already.
Well, no, it's an Asian lady with a curse, and she turns into a snake, and
There you
eventually
go.
she can't turn back. Why she lives for the next 70 years as a snake.
She's magic.
Oddly enough, she's on the good side right now.
It's possible.
What?
Yeah, she
I mean,
did
like,
not
it's just-
join Grindelwald in the fuck all humans.
Okay, so the
Well, I
fucking loopy bitch from the first one is evil, and fucking the snake who is going to be part of a dictator's army is good. Okay. Is there any other fucking heels that...
There's probably
Well,
some sort of storyline in
there's,
between where Nagini meets Voldemort that we don't know.
I don't know. I think she must have been in the first one. There's some, like, bitch who went to school with Newt Scamander. And she...
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Maybe, yeah. They
Yeah, well,
call
it's
her name
her
being
mother.
Lestrange, yeah.
Yeah, her mother is...
Man, that just sounds like some.
She makes a pointless sacrifice right at the end.
That
it
just
does
sounds like
nothing.
some sort of
Wait,
like
did she
shitty
die?
Star Wars character.
She got fucking...
Commander Scamander.
I don't remember if she got hit by the flames or not, but yeah, she's not there anymore. Maybe she got...
has like a... She's supposed to have like a daughter or granddaughter that
She
ends up
might already
joining
have a
Voldemort.
daughter. I don't know. Maybe she comes back. I don't care.
It
It was
really
weird
does-
blue flame. It probably reaps your
Frame?
soul. Frame. Probably reaps your souls and puts them into the AIDS blood. I don't know.
It actually takes you to the Soul Stone where
The
you're going to be
magic
there
is
until
never
Infinity
defined in
Wars.
this series, and
You
it
get to
makes
hang out
no
with Red
sense.
Skull for the next
I keep-
100 years.
I keep trying to tell my roommate that the magic in this series is way too good to ever consider using anything else, and he disagrees.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Magic OP in Harry Potter?
Apparently from what you're saying, yeah.
I think that the problem comes down to the fact that they didn't have the CGI technology to do that shit in the first series.
No, in the first...
But they still CGI'd a lot of shit in.
That's
Well,
the thing.
yeah, I know,
In
but,
the
like-
books, they don't do, like, cool-ass magic shit until 7.
Well, yeah.
That's
I mean,
the,
like, they're just kids. They don't know what they're doing.
No, none of the teachers, like... That you would think, like, the teachers are doing, like, Dragon Ball Z shit to other wizards in 7, but, like, oh my god, guys, there's a troll, no one can defeat him.
Yeah,
Like,
I suppose that makes sense.
And I will say it did deliver on the Fantastic Beasts.
Maybe the troll's just
He like
really
goes
scary.
through his house where he keeps all his Fantastic Beasts.
oh, that's
So,
awesome, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have any weak enough spells not to kill the
They
troll,
probably fucking don't.
but they don't want to kill the troll.
They
So
kept it
they're
in
like-
the dungeon.
All right, so here's the thing.
No, there
We
was
got
a troll. The troll got
who-
let in and
Yeah,
then
through
through
the
the
dungeon.
dungeon.
So there's a troll in the bathroom. Does anybody know a spell that does not blow the troll into goop?
No.
But then fucking Ron uses
a cat.
Ron uses the levitation spell and knocks him out. Y'all don't think that some motherfucker would have thought that?
Maybe not. Maybe they're all like,
No, because I feel like that was just luck.
the only thing I know how to do is a fucking Kamehameha and a fucking kill spell.
Why are you even here, Goku?
I can turn into a cat and blow planets up with the wave of a finger. I don't.
There's a troll in the
can't find the
dungeon.
troll.
Dumbledore's like,
Kamehameha!
I need my fusion partner to be like a
Jesus
Phoenix Fire
Christ.
monster.
Like, I
but
don't. We can't kill the troll, but we have to get rid of it. Fuck.
Dumbledore, the original stand user.
Oh, boo. You suck.
It's like I can teleport or magically cut things' heads off. That's all I've got. Those are my spells.
It's like, can we
Can't
kill
do
it?
anything, man.
It looks in our guide that these trolls are endangered, so no, we can't fucking kill them.
We can't take it if it's set up residence anyway.
This
Looks
troll
like it's
is a
set up
protected species.
residence in your bathroom.
So if we get rid of this troll, we're dealing with like a pretty big PETA issue.
Actually, Newt Scamander just wrote that we can't kill it. Fuck you, Newt.
Commander Scamander.
Commander Scamander.
It sounds like a shitty Star Wars character for
I saw
real.
two really lackluster
Admiral
movies.
Scamander. We're pushing a salt planet.
I saw two really recent lackluster movies. I saw Robin Hood and I saw Creed 2.
Robin Hood.
That
Was
fucking...
that with the Kingsman?
Yeah.
Oh, that did look bad.
Here's my problem with
It looked modern. Looked like the King Arthur movie that came out.
I hate that movie.
The King Arthur
Not
movie's not
fun.
modern though.
It's not modern, but it tries to act
It
modern.
acts modern.
I suppose in
With
like dialogue and
Just
stuff like
fucking
that.
hair
Yeah,
alone
because
is
I
too
don't. I'm
much.
pretty. Yeah,
It's
I'm
all
also
slicked
pretty
back
sure.
and
Yeah,
shit.
Like
I'm also,
mine.
yeah, I'm also very pretty sure back in the day they didn't sound like fucking soccer hooligans.
I mean, they're not gonna make them like fucking hyper English. Then it's just gonna.
They're like, "What up, bruv? Hold on."
And it's just gonna seem like a
Hyper
fucking.
English.
Well, yeah. Then it's just gonna seem like a foreign film.
They
Then
do that
no
with
one's
other
gonna
shit.
like it.
What the fuck are you? They do that with Roman, like when they do like people in Rome all the
This
time. They
takes
give them
place
They
in
English
gave him a
London,
British
yeah.
accent in Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like I was like,
How is that Roman?
like
I just feel like
Gladiator
if they
is
had
in
gone.
Rome.
I just feel like if they had gone like full accent with it, then no one would really care for that movie.
I didn't really care for
You
a
mean
movie
like
to-
British accent?
Well, like anything,
What?
Go American.
any sort of like European accent.
But it's It's a Welsh fucking
Just 'cause they
tale.
did go British with it.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
I
It's
remember
all
being
pretty.
like that.
Fucking British.
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
Every other character except
I've
Arthur and even him.
I've seen it
And the main
once
bad guy.
when
The
it
main
was in
bad guy
theaters,
wasn't
and then that's it.
British at all for some reason, if I recall.
No, Jude Law was very British.
Was it?
Yeah, he was very old English British, and everyone else sounded like fucking soccer.
Cockney.
I
hooligans.
mean, he was
Cockney
he was
fucking-
kind of sort of like a big black demon guy.
Cockneys?
But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I like that word.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, everyone else was very, like, fucking cockney. They're like, what up, mate? And I'm like, why? Like, that's definitely not how they would have talked. Like, even if you were this...
Just a big floppy penis on your knee.
No, I saw Robin Hood. That movie was lame as fuck.
Did they do the same thing?
Yeah, they
Why can't
did.
we ever talk about a movie that we liked?
Because this is the tangent, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, we usually talk about not things.
I haven't
like
watched any movies that I like.
this. Well, watch different movies. Stop
Yeah.
watching Harry Potter for one.
I have to because everyone's like, you haven't even watched the movies or read all 12,000 of the books.
And the South
like 18 of them.
Here's the thing, you gotta also read the slash fiction on DeviantArt as well to understand the
Yeah,
true
exactly.
Harry Potter lore.
You also have to read Sonic fanfiction.
Already got that.
No, so like,
You gotta read
I've
like
served my time.
you gotta read like the Mario Sonic crossover fanfiction.
Oh, boy.
where Mario's pregnant and Sonic's the dad.
Super
All right, that's
Smash
not what I was
fanfiction.
thinking of. I was
It's
thinking
the
more.
longest written thing ever.
Yeah.
Super
true.
Slash Bros.
Super Smash Bros.
Smash Slash Bros. But no, so it's another one of my biggest problems with like King Arthur. It's very modern, and they look like they just got done shopping at Nordstrom, because like half the shit they would wear is not what they would wear. They're wearing
Fucking
Henley. They're wearing
jackets and shit.
they're wearing fucking Henley hoodies that like fuckboys wear now. I'm like, why
Yeah,
does
I
this?
saw that in the trailer.
I'm like-
I mean, like, I didn't think the movie was really like that unenjoyable.
Doesn't it do some slow motion shit?
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
does
it
that
does
slow
quite a
motion
bit of
shit
slow
that
Slow
I
motion
fucking
right
hate.
past
That.
like the Henley
Yeah.
logo. It's like
No,
fucking
my favorite
past
slow
his
motion
shoes and
is
it's
like,
like very
this is what I hate the
current.
fucking like it's super slow then hyper frenetic because it's like Taron Egerton doing his cool little pose and then whoosh super fast. I'm like, did you see that? He shot that man. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
I don't know. I thought the movie was entertaining.
I'm talking about
At least-
Robin Hood and not King Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
I haven't seen that.
I don't like King Arthur though.
I can't
still,
talk about
I
it.
still
No, but
think
he
King
saw
Arthur.
it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh.
I was asking you if it was like that.
I feel
so-
I feel like Robin Hood's a little bit
Trash.
better than King Arthur because I think it's a lot more fun, and there's not a million things going on. Like King Arthur to me felt like there
I
was
think
just,
it's easier to believe that they would be making jokes like that
Yeah.
as Robin Hood rather
yeah,
than
where I
King
don't believe King Arthur would be making that joke because
I
like
mean,
Arthur.
it has,
Hackney British
Yeah.
peasant who's also just like
Well, I mean, like Robin Hood.
extorting people. for
Robin
money.
Hood already has a lot of like really light-hearted stories that go
Yeah.
with it too. Like I mean, you got the Disney movie, and
Men
then
in
you've got like
Tights.
Men in
Right.
Tights.
but the reason
Lend me your ears.
But the reason why I do really like the I think it's still really bad. I like it more than King Arthur. That's when I came in. I'm like, this is gonna be another King Arthur. I really hated King Arthur. My fucking scene I hated the most in King Arthur is when Arthur goes full Dragon Ball Z for the first time, where he grabs the sword and just starts like swinging it around.
Is it in like the barracks or something?
Yeah,
And it's really, really.
you can't
fake.
tell what the fuck is going on.
It's also just like
Really,
really,
really-
really CGI.
yeah.
I don't know,
Everyone's
Even I
doing
can
that.
tell, and I can't tell in the prequels.
Oh, fuck you.
Are
I
you
can- I
retarded?
can now.
I can't tell when this is CGI in the prequels. You literally have like fucking the first movie where it's a bunch of really badly animated Gungans fighting a bunch of really badly animated droids in the Windows XP background.
Oh, you didn't know? Like,
It's
until last year.
Like you could see the Internet Explorer icon in the sky.
John, you didn't know until last year. Eli thought Jar Jar was a real person and not an actor.
It's contradicting, but I knew what you were going for.
But
I
like,
don't
no,
wanna talk about the prequels.
I really, I don't know. Robin Hood was okay. I don't think it was like, eh.
I don't
Creed
know.
2
Like when I went into like a King Arthur, like I didn't expect it to be a whole lot, and I think that's why I didn't really hate it so much. Like I knew that it was kind of like this is probably not like I saw the list of actors in the movie, and I'm like, this is probably not going to be that great.
Right.
And then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, that was not really that stellar of a movie. Don't close it all the way.
I wasn't gonna close it all the way.
I think that the more upsetting movie to me that I saw was Creed 2. I really was like, I did have high hopes for that because I really loved Creed 1, and I'm really surprised you're not singing for me, John.
Why?
I've been saying Creed for like fucking.
I gotta
It's
get
not
over-
funny every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't know. I was
Yeah. Sometimes the butt rock just brings up the sad.
But no, like I feel like this movie was.
it's gonna rain like this for days.
I feel like.
So let it rain down and wash everything away. That is such a
Damn.
horrible album. In all honesty.
A lot of them were bad, but I like.
Well, I mean,
liked
yeah.
a few songs.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked Creed back in the day when I was like, I think I was like 10 and I heard my first Creed album and
And
I'm
you're like, wow, that's heavy as fuck.
no, definitely did not think that.
No, like I just that movie was kind of sad too. To
I
me.
think I was 10 when I discovered the first Whitechapel EP. So.
And then your life was changed.
Oh no, like
No.
that
I
was
didn't
still
discover Creed
that was still
until
kind
I
of
discovered Alter Bridge.
that was still kind of soft.
What? How the
Well, I
fuck
mean,
did
like-
you not discover Creed before you?
Well,
They had
you're
one
like-
famous song.
You're like 20, right?
Yeah.
21.
21
Like
in a
Alter
month.
Bridge was probably like Creed was already probably not a thing.
Well, the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
is,
that's
I
right.
absorbed most of my music through my brother.
Yeah. Well,
If he
and
didn't
like
listen to Creed, then I didn't listen.
like Creed had like a
Copycat.
decentish
Yeah.
run in the 90s and then like maybe like early 2000 and then they had like another album that came out in like 2010 or 2011
Isn't that the
or
one
something
where he
like
like
that.
found God though? and
Well,
that
no,
was,
he like what happened was he got into drugs and then he went to rehab and got
found
out
God through the
and then
drugs.
they made that album and then like literally got back into drugs.
Wow.
And like Alter Bridge came about after Creed stopped being a thing. So like the 2004 or 5 range is when Alter Bridge really started taking off.
Because
so
I
that
was
early,
about
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that early.
I definitely did
I don't
not
know about-
discover them until like
I don't know
until I
about-
was like 12.
I don't know about taking off necessarily, but I'm pretty sure that
To
the first.
internet.
Because
Oh, I could just
it
look it
was
up on
all
Spotify.
music on the 360 that I shared with my brother, and he downloaded it on there.
But I'm pretty sure like Alter Bridge really started to kind of sort of take off. Okay, if I can spell.
Anyway,
Alter.
the movie Creed. Go on.
Yeah.
So
When did that take?
it does start in 2004. Holy shit! Formed in 2004. You're right.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because it was right
Well,
after.
because I mean, like Creed really disbanded in like 2001, 2002.
And because
so-
the only Creed song that people really fucking know is from that Titan AE song. It's the "Can You Take Me?"
Oh no, some of their other
Higher?"
songs are definitely more, not anymore necessarily, but like
Yeah, I feel like, but that's like the one that everyone just remembers.
yeah, I
now.
suppose probably, but
Yeah,
like
is the, like-
One Last Breath and
Yeah.
Weathered are both.
but I mean they were much more popular than people think back in the day.
Well, I mean, it's a lot like Nickelback, where people are like, I hate Nickelback. And it's like,
Well-
well obviously someone has to like Nickelback, or they wouldn't be so fucking popular.
Well, Nickelback
I like
was
Nickelback.
like Nickelback was like excessively popular coming up, and then they just kind of became a meme out of nowhere.
I
Yeah,
know.
I feel bad. Like, how do you like feel like Chad Kroger just like one day just wakes up and everyone's like, "Fuck Nickelback." He's like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Yeah,
It's like,
probably.
man, I've already got the money. I don't care.
Yeah, probably. Like by the time Nickelback became a meme, they
We're
were
just
already
gonna-
probably like the biggest rock band in the world.
We're just gonna make our rock heavier. That's what they're doing now.
Yeah, it's so heavy.
No, it's not. No, but compared to regular Nickelback,
Yeah, I suppose.
Doesn't take much, John.
I don't know. I suppose like the earliest versions of Nickelback, I really didn't think were that horrible, and then I heard those Nickelback songs.
Everybody knows Rockstar. That's
forever.
how I know everyone likes
I
Nickelback.
hate that fucking song, dude. I've heard that song so many fucking times.
I've heard it a lot, but I still
That was at our fucking middle school dances all the time, and for some reason it ended up a slow song because it had a slow beat. Boulevard of Broken Dreams was a fucking slow dance song, and I do not understand why.
You know what makes me laugh so hard is whenever I hear like a graduation party or like Seinfeld's last episode is
Time of Your Life.
Yeah, it's Good Riddance. And it's like that song is literally like a "We broke up, fuck you, I hate you" song, and like everybody plays it at their graduations and shit like that. And it's like, do you actually like listen to this song, or are you retarded? I should probably stop using that word.
You're retarded. I have an autistic sister. I get a pass.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I've also got a black sister-in-law.
Oh, so you get another pass.
Oh,
huh?
don't.
I can say anything.
And we have Gil around, so
I am God.
Exactly. We've got them. Oh shit, we're the minority. Or fuck, majority now. I've been the minority for like 4 fucking months.
It's not really a majority. Well, I suppose if you
Technically,
split them in half, but
It's been
I
the
mean,
Asian,
you're more so
Asians
you
have
get
been
like
in
better
control.
votes.
what
Like,
do you mean?
It's like the 3/5 compromise. We've had this conversation of how this
Actually, I
works.
keep telling them they only get 3/5 of a vote.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's half white.
That's
Does he
how I-
count?
I mean, like,
That's
yeah,
my
so, like, I don't
compromise.
know. I feel like, do I count as an even person because I'm half white?
I mean, you're probably more white than I am.
Tell you what, you get half of 3/5. What do you think about that? You gonna try and compromise more?
No.
Some smallpox blankets.
Do you have any, like, thing you want to complain about, Gail? Because we've all been complaining about some weird-ass shit. You, like, complained
what
about Harry
shit-ass
Potter
movies
for,
do you
like,
have?
20 fucking minutes. Do you have anything
You guys went on way longer about Marvel. Got
Oh,
me
yeah,
fucked up.
but-
That's why we had
yeah.
to make it a tangent.
No, you brought it back to freaking Harry Potter
tangent,
3
we
different
could-
times.
That's because he
literally-
kept trying to take it away.
Talk
Because
about
he wanted
anything.
to move on.
It's because no one else saw the movie. Can't relate to how
You can't relate
shitty
your
it was.
I saw the first
I
series.
saw it for free, so I really don't care.
Is there anything, any movie, or you always have some weird shit that, like, one weird nitpick about something?
I'm not opposed to talking about music more.
Yeah. So, what were your guys' graduation songs?
What were like that played at like the ceremony
That played
or,
at our ceremony.
or like the
ceremony.
parties afterwards?
Yeah. Wait, Turn Down for What was played at a lot of the,
Oh, that was way after me.
Turn Down for What? You
I'm
remember
pretty sure
Turn
that's
Down for
yeah.
What?
That song came out while I
What
was
year
in
did you
college.
graduate?
I think.
What?
2011?
I
Turn
didn't
Down
know
for
that
What
fucking
came...
song was that old. Holy
Yeah,
I don't think
hell.
it's that old.
It's not.
I don't think it
It's
is.
like
Yeah.
2014.
Isn't
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
2011. I don't think it came out when I was in
I'm
middle
pretty
school.
sure that came out after I was
I
out
could
of
be
college.
wrong. I don't know that.
Because I
Oh,
remember.
well, you're right. It's 2012. It was recorded 2012 and released
No, it's not a
2013.
huge.
Okay, so it's not as
Not
it's
a
not as
huge
new
difference,
as I
but-
thought. I remember like
And
I
then they
remember-
came out with a repeat song.
Well, no, I was just like, I don't remember
Oh,
that
no,
in middle
mine was
school
shots.
dances, and I know it would have been.
well, I remember sort of around the time that Turned Down for What came out because I had to like go to like a family reunion with my mom and her sister and my sister, and they all pissed me off like really hard before we left. So I put Turned Down for What on the radio on repeat for the entire like 6-hour drive. And then like every time they tried to talk, I'd just turn it up a little bit louder.
Yeah, no, it was Shots. It was Shots.
Oh
Party
yeah,
Rock.
I remember that being around.
Party rock anthem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That was
we
that when I was in middle
we
school.
couldn't play stuff like Shots at our school. I don't
Oh,
think we really
So
had.
yeah, I don't think we got to choose current music. I think they just played some band stuff.
I'm trying to remember like what we had. I know that Good Riddance was in like our slideshow
Yeah.
thing. No, I was talking about for graduation.
Graduation,
Yeah, we had like a slideshow or whatever, and everybody like submitted like 8 pictures of themselves, and there's just one of me up there.
Was it just you?
It's like,
was
it's
it you,
just,
on-
it's like a picture of you
Was
with
it
your
you on
Roman
your-
cap
was it you
on.
on
You
the
like took it
T-Rex?
outside.
was it you on your T-Rex, on the T-Rex? That was your profile picture?
No,
for
it
the
was
long
it
time?
was one of my senior pictures because like I had literally only gone to that school for like a year, so it was just like they had this big slideshow of like
everyone
all of the
hanging out.
all of the kids like hanging out, and then it's just one of my senior pictures, and I'm just like, why'd you even put it in? Like, just pretend I'm not here, for fuck's sake.
The idea that it's just you right as you go through the doors. Just take a picture of you and put it in.
Yeah, there you go.
Good job.
They don't put
He's
a
not
picture
even
in, and they
looking
just
at the
take
camera.
random pictures of you at the
I would
lunchroom.
have just accepted it better if it was literally I was just not in there, because it's just like you just throw it in there to try and make me feel better about like not doing anything at this school before graduating.
Anyway, we had a slideshow. I do not remember my graduation, apparently.
My graduation song was
Trying to
fucking
blank out all
Kevin
of
Rudolph's "I Made It" with Lil Wayne. And I was like,
I think
wow.
we had like a presentation that was long enough for 2 songs, and I'm pretty sure Good Riddance was one of them, but I don't remember the other one.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's just a terrible graduation song. It's literally like
A
I hate
breakup.
you.
Yeah, I
It's
hate
literally like I hate you, fuck you. Like it's literally like hope you had the time of your life, bitch. Like that's the whole point of the song, and
Shit.
everybody's like, what?
Talking about music, though.
I mean, yeah,
if
why
you
not?
want to finish your thing, though. That's just-
Oh, everybody's just like, oh my god, it's a goodbye song.
It's like a "I fucking hate you" song.
Yeah, it literally is. It's really funny.
It's appropriate.
I always just like wish that I ever got put in charge of anything like that. It's just like everybody like walks out and it's like fucking early fucking Whitechapel, like a slideshow of everybody hanging out to background music of Jack the Ripper themed
No.
death metal.
Not yet.
You ever like listen? I suppose you guys probably don't even listen to Whitechapel.
Yeah, I listened to the older one.
I know
haven't
of
listened-
them.
So like some of their early albums are like legitimately one of their early EPs is completely Jack the Ripper themed, and one of the songs is literally about like killing a woman and then like sucking up her like fluids in a syringe and then injecting it into her vag and then like stabbing her a bunch. It's really fucked up shit. It's kind of interesting though to listen to, especially like with the kind of band they are now, where they're almost like they're almost kind of like devolving into a more hard rock mixed with metal kind of thing. I don't know. I like Whitechapel.
Well, on the theme of metal, though, Ailstorm.
Ailstorm and not Hailstorm, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ailstorm. It's pirate metal.
We literally had this argument.
Last week.
I don't know if
last
I'd
week.
call Ailstorm like pirate metal.
They call themselves pirate metal.
Well, yeah, but like the whole like the pirate metal is like a self-proclaimed kind of thing. They're more like the actual like classification that it goes with is like battle metal kind of sort of thing. Lots of like brass.
I like that though. That's pretty
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
no,
it's
it's
pretty
good. I
dope.
like
Like
it.
I like that kind of stuff. There's I can't remember what they're called now. There's some other ones that are really good like that. I'm drawing a complete blank right now, honestly.
Can I end this tangent on a weird note?
Do we have to end the tangent already?
Yeah, because we probably should
Probably
do
like
some of the new
fucking 4
shit.
hours
Yeah,
long.
It's not that long. How long is it?
an hour and 22 minutes.
Well, it's not very long. Well, we'll do another one later.
Just enough. I just want to end on this weird note. Has anyone seen the weird League of Legends porn that's been coming out? I mean, have you seen the weird League of Legends porn that's been coming out?
Not really.
Ever since the fucking KDA skins came out?
I've never been like that.
The fuck is KDA? Kills Death Assist.
It's the new
Is that the newest competition or
it's the
something?
new K-pop skins that came out for all those
Oh.
characters.
I don't know. I'm not really like that into like. I mean, I play a little bit of League.
Right.
Like I used to play a lot of League,
Yeah, I can't anymore.
but I don't really play that much anymore. Excuse me. Every once in a while I get back on, and then like I play for a little while, and people just call me like all kinds of horrible things.
Yeah, people are
And I'm
not
just
nice
kinda
to
like-
people who are trying to relearn that fucking
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
I love those League of Legends commercials though that they have out. So you want to play League of Legends? You can.
It's a
You can-
very fun and welcoming community.
No.
Go eat shit and die, asshat!
oh man, you guys ever just like fuck a shit?
Oh god.
I spent like an entire morning going off on Gil about this one day. I'm just like, why don't you just go fuck a shit, Gil?
Just go eat crap.
Yeah, there's a line in that Seraph of the End anime that I mentioned earlier.
Call back.
Yeah, there we go. So there's one line where he's talking to this kid about like who this kid's like really depressed because he just watched all of his friends die, and
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty depressed, I guess. But
How depressed you?
he's like talking about him, and he's like, "We're just humans. We just have to put up with it. We just have to eat crap and then something else." And like they said it kind of fast in the sentence, so
Eat
it
crap
literally
and sleep.
Yeah, eat crap and sleep. So I'm like the entire time I'm watching this show now, I'm just like, we have to eat crap. The funniest shit ever. Like talking about the vampires, and the vampires will be like, "We need to drink," and I'm like, "They need to eat crap, Gil." We don't have any crap to eat. What are we gonna eat? There's no crap.
And that is the end of our tangent.
It
Can
was
you fuck
funny.
a shit? Can you eat a crap? Let
No,
us know.
it's y'all ever just fuck a shit.
No, I don't want to fuck a shit, John.
Well, you know what? Y'all ever just
Can you take me higher?
y'all just ever
Yeah.
take a shit?
Watch Harry Potter,
Can
Crimes
you
of
shit
Grindelwald.
me
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Have a good night.
Fucking justify it to me.